Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, the 29th of June. We This is the last race of the short distance this week. We are flying from Modderrivier, which is just the other side of Kimberley, 451 kilometers and 262 meters exactly to my house from Liberation Point. We have a westerly wind blowing today. That's not so hard here in town, but en route there was times where the westerly wind blew quite hastily, and that means, unfortunately for us, it will blow the pigeons towards that direction, and they will probably come out of that direction, and we give all of the other fanciers overflight that lives in that area over there. And if the pigeons come in there and we have to clock 3 minutes later and give them overflight, it'll be a hard day. But I don't want to make excuses before the pigeons even come. But today, if I'm within 8 minutes of the winning pigeon or in that ballpark, I'll be quite happy. Unfortunately, sometimes the wind is in your favor and other times not, but who knows what's going to happen. Current velocity is 1,600 meters, more or less. We are expecting the birds to come in at around 12:50, last time I heard, but you never know. Can be faster, it can be slower. So this is it. Yeah, we're waiting for birds, and got my son with me here on the roof. Visited his grandparents on the south coast. So luckily I've got my partner in crime in Loft manager back, so makes it a little bit nicer when we wait for the pigeons. So today, as per usual, there's only recoup in the water. They're coming back on the 50% sunflower and 50% pellets, and then we will talk a little bit later about what is the plan for the coming work, medicine and training wise. This current week we only trained them once, 30 kilometers to work, and the rest of the time they had open loft. And we only basketed a young bird team this week because some of the pigeons looked very tired and I want to give them a rest, and others that throw their 10th flights and it's coming out. Some are half, some are 25% or 75%, so I don't want to basket pigeons at this distance when they miss flight feathers. But we will get them right, and then we'll basket them for 1 or 2 sprints, and then we will put them in the team. So we will keep you updated when the first bird arrives. Let's hope for the best. So we are still waiting for birds. Made a bit of a calculation error. It seems like we this time it's about 13:25 or so. We're still on 1,600 meters. So the birds are a little bit fast still. I think another 20 minutes probably, but we don't know. But while we wait, I thought we'll just go through the planning for the week, what we will be doing. So today they're getting 1 part pellets, 1 part sunflower, and then recoup in the water. So it's 50-50 pellets and sunflower only for the entire day. Tomorrow, which is Sunday, they will also get 1 part pellets, 1 part sunflower. On the food, they will get the Bioworks energy oil, and they will also get canker and yeast kill on the food. And we're starting our program. We will do a doxycycline, which in this case, or Spiradox, and milk and, or not just Spiradox, milk and vinegar in the water. And that we will do Monday exactly the same, apart from the food. Now they will get 2-part pellets, 2-part pellets, 2-part sunflower, and 1-part breeding mix. Tuesday, they're getting the fine seed mix in the morning. 1-part pellets, 1-part sunflower, 1-part breeding mix, and the medicine in the water stays the same. And on the food, they'll get a bit of red cell. Wednesday, fine seed mix in the morning, 1-part pellets. He's looking Torres, niet even nie. 1-part pellets, 1-part sunflower, 2 parts breeding mix, and they are also getting the de-husked sunflower from Wednesday after they ate for pudding. And then Thursday, Wednesday, sorry, they're getting the black magic in the water. Thursday, fine seed mix, 1-part mealies, 1-part safflower, 1-part red sorghum, and then de-husked sunflower as much as they want to eat, and that's what we basket on, de-husked sunflower in the evening before we go basket. And we will not be putting anything in the water on Thursday. They'll have clean water on Thursday. And then we race. So today is Modderrivier. I can't remember where. Yeah, so it's the last short race of the year. And from next week we're doing the middle distance, and so we're getting onto the distance now, and hopefully we will get some good results in the next 6 weeks with the middle distance. Yeah, so nothing complicated this week. The only thing I forgot to mention is that I will be in addition to the things I've mentioned, I will be deworming them tomorrow as well. I'll be using the Mediworm powder, and this is for the treatment of large roundworm, hairworm, tapeworm in cage birds. So I find this one to be a little bit more subtle than something like Dicestal or so. And they seem to be less affected by this, but it also clears them with the worms. So I did this so to break the cycle. They will be dewormed as well. So in terms of our planning for the coming week, this is what we're going to do. Tossing, depending on how it goes today, when we had 1 toss this week, and then open loft. If it works again this week, we'll continue with that. Maybe we'll see what the wind is like for next week, and might toss a little bit more, but it might be a tailwind, they say, and then obviously we will toss a little bit less, but it remains to be seen. So yeah, we are having coffee, waiting for the birds. We are writing our planning for the week and dreaming about those champion pigeons that we're gonna breed and those wins we want to win. So I will keep you updated as the birds arrive. Okay, so we nearly missed him. We've got one home, the blue bar down there. 563. Also bred by my good friend Bongani, that bred me the one that came in first for me. Got a second place last week, first born home. This is now the brother of that same bird, or at least. Okay, we've got bird number 2 in at 1401. That indigo over there is eating now. Don't see any mud on the feet, so it's cool. So they maybe didn't stop for water. And still looking quite fresh and good. Didn't yawn, nothing. So look like they're in good shape. We only have the one race today. So 2 of the 10 we basketed is back. So Let's see what happens. Just missed this one coming in. Not the other Indigo, the bar Indigo. She just came in. What's the time now? 14, about 3 minutes after the other one. So we've got 3 out of 10. So the returns is much better today, but I suspect it's because of the speed is a bit higher, and that tends to happen that your returns are better on a faster race. But yeah, there we go. We've got another one. Hello everyone. So it is now Sunday, the day after the race. We liberated at, just want to get the angle right here, at where was it? Modderrivier, just about there. So this was the last race of the sprint series, and we're going all the way down to Beaufort and Lugamka for the very last one. Or Mikey's, we're doing a Mikey's Fontaine this year, all the way down in the Western Cape. So still a long way to go. We had a somewhat disappointing race, but not too bad. We didn't score as well as we did last week. We had 5 on the sheet, however, pretty low down, but it was a rather enjoyable race. But I am happy about the returns. The birds, we had 2 on the drop. Missed the first one completely because I'll put it in the video. You'll see I looked up writing down the program and then saw the pigeon on the roof, but I didn't realize 5 seconds before that one already trapped. So the first one home was actually the same pigeon that came second last week. That was also first one home, and it came together with its brother. Both of those pigeons was actually also bred by my friend Bongani. So it seems like we have something special there with those birds. Another congratulations to him as well. He flew a 4th hotspot, so in the CPL 1 Loft race. So he's got a 1st, a 3rd and a 4th, and he's currently the front runner in the ace pigeon competition. So well done to Bongani, my good friend. Well done, bud. Then a special thanks to Flip from Deep Laagte Lofts. He has agreed to breed me a bird from his stock, from his very best stock, that we can introduce into our program for the breeding season. So I'm quite happy and quite pleased. Flip from Deep Laagte also scored a 5th in the Africa Pro, very successful on the 1 Loft seat. So special shout out for Flip from Deep Laagte and Roan. So anyway, so let's get back to where we are. So what's happening now? Sunday, we are giving 1 part sunflower, 1 part pellets. And we're also deworming with Mediworm. I've spoken in length about the program following this week, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I'll put it on the video and you guys can see. So just a few takes from what I've learned so far in the shorts. So the completion of the 6 short races. My goal was to at least one of each category, 1 short, 1 middle, 1 long. We didn't manage to win a short distance race. However, we did come second last week, and we were within 2 minutes or so. So that is as good as it gets, and it's good enough for me. So I'm pleased with that. Hopefully we'll get a shot in the middle distance. So what I've taken out of this, in the beginning we fed quite light and we fed a lot of barley. 80-20% breeding and such, and I was under the impression, or I hope, that it will work quite well. keep the birds that light, but it didn't work for me. It might be that the pigeons had some kind of ailment, or we did something wrong in the beginning. I've heard of people that this barley worked very well, but then something I did change. I took out the barley completely and I went back to the sunflower, not the whole sunflower, the striped sunflower within, and we did a third pellets, third sunflower, third breeding during the week, and then Saturday, Sunday it's 50-50. Ever since I've done that, they came a lot better, and on the sheet we also introduced fine seed in the morning. As of Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and we basket on de-husked sunflower every evening. After they had the evening feed, they also get de-husked sunflower. Thursdays before basketing, of course, as much as they want, so they don't get any other feed other than de-husked sunflower as much as they want on a Thursday evening. So yesterday the birds came very well. They looked very well when they landed. No panting or obvious ailments. But when I basketed on Thursday, I did tell my son, I think they're a little bit heavy. So they did feel maybe a little bit heavy for this race. I might be wrong, but I'm not too concerned because we're going to go to the distance now. And they're going to need the extra, not the extra weight, but definitely the extra oils and fats in that. So yeah, that is what's that. So we are gonna feed now. Maybe I should just take you into the loft quickly after we're done, and we're gonna give them dewormer now on the food, and we'll see if there's any worms in tomorrow morning in the purchase. So yeah, let's have a look what's going on in the loft. Okay, so we're gonna call them down now for their evening feed, and then they're gonna settle in, confined to barracks for the rest of the evening. They had a bath earlier. Please don't mind the washing. I don't interfere with the wife's business. But yeah, so they had a bath today. They had open loft. They had sunflower and pellets. They're gonna have sunflower and pellets now, and they're also starting their medicine program as explained previously. So let's call them down. Maar hulle lyk nie vir my lus om af te kom nie. But let's see. Okay, just to show you what's happening in the breeding loft, how we keep our breeders healthy, or we try to at least. Milk and vinegar in the water. It's very good for the breeders and when they feed babies. So it's 20 grams of milk, the Milky Bar or calf milk alternative on a liter of water, and then the vinegar is now 1 ml per liter. Are we short there? Yeah. Okay, so we'll just mix a few others. So what we also did, the 25 birds with the paramyxa outbreak, these are the survivors, 2. These 2 look quite healthy. We ended up with 23 died. So guys, I just want to say, if you think that paramyxa vaccine doesn't work, it does work. If you don't think it's important, it's important. I got these birds from a fancier. Very good birds that he got from a champion fancier. Good pedigree birds. Unfortunately, they were not vaccinated, or I don't believe they were, or with effective vaccination. By the time I got them, the virus was progressed too far, and I did vaccinate them, and they started turning heads. I thought it might be paratyphoid, and we treated them with a strong dose of amoxicillin, coliprim, doxybiotics, about 3 weeks worth of biotics, and now but that didn't clear it up, and the head started turning, getting thin, can't eat, and they die. So it was clearly paramyxo. So on this side are some stock cocks, and these were all vaccinated, but you could see the difference. Only 2 days they were a little bit lethargic and loose droppings, and then immediately recovered. And you can see we had no casualties with the vaccinated birds, and they're absolutely fine now. So I vaccinated with the Nobilis PMV1 from MedPet. This is the only one I trust. I've heard, and I presume the one from Breakaway, Dr. Piet van Sales, is quite effective and trustworthy. So that is also a good one to use. I think I've made another video a few years back. You can have a look on that, on the vaccinations and the reasons why. But I don't trust these things that get decanted from a larger bottle that comes from overseas, because the problem with vaccinations or vaccines are we don't know how they get brought into the country, and some of these vaccines need to be kept at a 4 degrees Celsius, and people are putting them in suitcases, or they come in containers, they go up to 30 degrees, and then the vaccine becomes less effective or not effective at all. We vaccinate the birds with that, and then we have problems. So there's a reason why Sanpo has decided long ago that vaccination with PMV for paramyxo is actually compulsory, and now we also have the compulsory Newcastle disease. The one from Dr. Piet van Zyl has the Newcastle disease vaccine in as well, and that's the one we will be using next. I like to use 1 or 2 types every 6 weeks, and I'm very grateful that I did vaccinate my so it's very important to vaccinate with for PMV, and I will use I like to use 2 different vaccines every 6 weeks. I think with everything we did wrong, that's the one thing you have to get right, is vaccinating your birds for Newcastle and paramyxo, and of course pox as well. Pox is less lethal, but it can put you out by 6 to 8 weeks and ruin your season if you don't. But not only is it the right thing to do, and for a fancier, it's also a responsible thing, because not to put other people's pigeons in jeopardy as well. So that's it. So on the breeding, we've just put down a little bit of nest material. Usually we get pine needles, but the pine needles that I usually get, I wanted to get, I couldn't, and the ones I did get was a little bit wet. So it's just enough to get them to start building their own nests. And got some there, hopeful there. Our Oscar cock over there with the spritzy hen, blue bar spritzy. Hopefully that will produce something. So we are in the process of planning for next year, our breeding season, and acquiring new genetics. So the plan is, like I said, I'm getting at least 1 good stock bird from Deep Laagte Loft, and a fancier Ignis Fire Steenkamp with a lot of good birds. He has agreed to breed me a round of youngsters and also borrow me a few stock birds to breed us around. So the plan is to get our hands on as many excellent pigeons that is possible. And when I say excellent, only top tier. And if that means we only have 2 pairs that we breed from, so be it. But it seems like we might get a few. and then get as many young birds from top fanciers as well, even if that means getting eggs. And on those results next year with those pigeons, based on the results, we will start building our own stock and hopefully go forward with our pigeon career. So that is the plan in the breeding loft. So yeah, we've got the milk and vinegar in the troughs, in the waters. I must say, I can recommend the glass bowls. It cleans so easily, so it's the best thing I've done yet. So I can really recommend the glass bowls for your breeders. And the milk water keeps the birds so healthy, and when they feed the babies with that, just boosts them a lot, because it's got all the proteins, fats, minerals and vitamins in that you can imagine. If they can raise a calf on those things, just imagine what it can do for the babies and the bone growth and all those kind of things. Yeah, I guess that is it. It wasn't too bad of a result this week. I quite enjoyed it. It must be because my son is back. We're going to do a selfie. There he is. He was with his grandparents for a few weeks. So it just reminded me what the pigeon sport is about. It's about family time and doing things with the family. And I said to a fancier this week as well at the club, you know what, I've realized we can't win every week and we can't win everything and we can't all be winners. But at my house, every Saturday there is a winning pigeon. The first one home is always a winner at the loft. And I think I've just realized again, that's what it's about. It's about the process, the effort, and the waiting, and then the anticipation when for the first bird to arrive, and also the happiness and the joy when that first pigeon sticks its head out, over the roof and you can see it come. And that's why we do this. We are not all professionals. We don't all do this for the money. Nothing wrong with doing this for money if you can. But I think the heart and soul of pigeon racing is actually... The wife just stuck out her tongue. Kom bietjie hierso. One day I'll get her onto the video. She's camera shy. Beautiful woman. But very, very, very camera shy. Anyway, genoeg kakpraat for now. We will keep you updated within the next few days what's happening during the week. And I'm still deciding on our tossing plan. I'm thinking of tossing a little bit harder this week. But we'll keep you updated. Peace.